Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel and a happy new year. Well, I did an unboxing video for this watch I believe late last year, and in this video we're gonna dive into more details about the watch. I also did a more controversial video about the sapphire crystal of this watch, which I will try not to mention in this video. So we start off with the dimensions of the watch here. The watch comes in at a case diameter of 40 millimeters. It has a thickness of 13.5 millimeters. The lug to lug distance when measured from the case, it's 47.3 millimeters. But the effective lug to lug distance, if we are taking into account the fixed mid link on the end links, it's about 51.2 millimeters. And it comes with a 20 millimeters lug width. The case is made out of marine grade 316L stainless steel, and a majority of the case has what we call a brush or satin finish. And basically I would say the entire case is brushed except for two high polish chamfers running across the case on both sides. And the watch comes with a screw down crown, giving it a 600 meters of water resistance, and the crown is signed with Christopher Ward twin flag logo. Well, I think the entirely brushed finish of the watch case gives the watch a more rugged and a tool watch feel, yet the high polish chamfers give it a touch of class. The fit and finish is good overall. It comes with a fully brushed bracelet, which I think matches the character of the watch appropriately. And also, I'm not a fan of high polish bracelets, so I really like how the execution of the bracelet on this piece is. And the bracelet comes with solid end links with all solid links. The removable links are held by pins, which I think it's acceptable, but it would be better if they were held by screws. The screws in bracelets, I would say, give them a touch of refinement. The bracelet comes with all the bells and whistles of newer Christopher Ward's bracelet with quick release. As you can see, you have can easily remove the bracelet by just pressing on the two tabs to remove the bracelet. And it also comes with what they call a ratchet clasp adjustment. So basically, if you use a nail to push the bar here, you can slide the bracelet out all the way and you can click it back in. I think there are 4 clicks here. Oops, I did it too much. I'm just gonna try to do that again. So let me see how many clicks here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically we have 4 micro adjustment position, and if you want, you can also use that as a diver's extension if you're really planning to dive with this watch. So let's get back to the face of the watch here. I think the bezel is made out of a single piece metal. I cannot be sure because I tried to look at for some separation to see if there are 2 pieces, but somehow I failed to see that, which leads me to believe that the bezel is made from a single piece of stainless steel. The numberings and the markings on the bezel are printed, and we have some milled out groove for decoration purposes. If you look closely here, beneath this portion on the bezel, we have some milled out groove. Personally, I would rather prefer to have the numberings being milled out and filled pin rather than to have this decorative grooves here, because I feel that they tend to catch a lot of dirt and you might need to use some toothpick or some Q-tips to remove the dirt from these decorative grooves here. But all in all, I think it's still a great execution of the bezel, and the bezel action is quite solid. There is, I would say, almost no back play here, and it's quite easily moved even wearing gloves. So it's quite easily, there's no slippery surfaces. If you have sweaty hands and you are wearing gloves, I think you can still operate the bezel quite good, and the back play is very small and insignificant here. The watch dial is protected by a thick sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating. The main attraction is the dial. It is made from a 0.6 thick machined-out sapphire crystal. From Christopher Ward's website, it is mentioned that over 20 steps and 80 operations are needed to make the dial. As a mechanical engineer by profession, I think the manufacturing yield of this crystal is not very high, which adds cost to the watch itself. And with the high hardness of a sapphire crystal, I am guessing the dial is made through precision grinding. And at the 3 and 9 o'clock location, there are 4 screws to secure the dial to the movement. Drilling those small holes, I would say it's really a delicate job. Yes, the screws are not aligned. Let me zoom in for you. And if you are particularly OCD, I think you will hate them. But you know, real world screws, this is to be expected because we cannot expect all the threads to be machined and well aligned. So to me, I would accept them. So yep, not too bad. Okay, the blue hue on the crystal is from a thin polycarbonate layer under the sapphire dial. Well, to be honest, this is my only main concern for this watch, and before getting this watch, you know, this is the only thing that got me like thinking, should I get it, should I not? Polycarbonate tends to yellow under UV exposure, and some would even turn cloudy due to oxidization. And when that happens, maybe the blue will turn into a greenish hue due to the yellowing. And let's hope it won't get cloudy here, because I would hate it if I cannot see the inner workings of the movement. And I think the darkness of the blue is just right here. It is not too light, making the watch dial looks overly complicated with all the inner parts. You know, you can see it and it complicates the time reading itself, yet it still gives us a peek of what's inside. So I think it is just the right amount. All the hour markers are applied and they have different finishing on them. They are filled with generous amount of Superluminova X1 Lume. The same goes for the hour and minute hand, and also the lollipop on the second hand. Yes, we still have the famous trident on the counterbalance of the second hand here. Well, before you scream at me for not doing a Lume shot, I'm gonna slot in a Lume shot maybe right about now. Well, this is how the watch looks when it is dark here. We have quite bright Lume on all the hour markers as well as the handset of the watch, and we also have some Lume on the first 15 minutes on the bezel insert, but they are not as bright and they do not last as long as those Lume, especially on the big arrow hands. But it's still a good Lume here. Powering the watch is a Sellita SW200, which we can see from the see-through case back of the watch. Let me just try to remove the bracelet so that we can have a better view of the movement. So pardon me if it seems struggling a bit because I'm doing this with my glove on. So yep, the bracelet is off. Okay, so from here we can see the Sellita SW200 movement that has some customization by Christopher Ward on the rotor. Well, personally, I feel that the dial or the see-through crystal here is a little too dark. I wish it was a little lighter so that we can see the movement even better here. Well, as usual, Sellita SW200, it's hand windable, it's hackable, it has a power reserve of 38 hours, and this one, I think the rated accuracy is plus minus 20 seconds per day, and yep, it beats at 28,800 beats per hour. Well, this is how the watch sits on my 6-inch wrist here. The lug to lug distance, it's almost at its max, which I can take, but I think it's still okay because this is a dive watch. It's meant to be a tool watch, so it's meant to be slightly bigger to give it that ruggedness and that rugged look, if you will. But if you have a bigger than 6-inch wrist, I think this watch would wears quite well on your wrist without any problem here. Okay, so I guess that's it for this video. If you're new to my channel, please help by subscribing to my channel. It does help me a lot. And you can also follow me on my Instagram at gfw_watch for more watch pictures. Till then, I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye bye.